times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, shout out.
3 times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, now I hop on the scene with some banging dope beats with a top.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is a heated exchange on Twitter between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. So let me just pull that up. And you can see this is from the Zone's website. So Anthony Joshua wrote, at Tyson Fury, the world now sees you for the fraud you are. You've let boxing down. You lied to the fans and led them on. Use my name for clout, not a fight. Bring me any championship fighter who can handle their business correctly. So that's what Anthony Joshua said. Tyson Fury responded, at Anthony Joshua, you're more full of ish that Eddie, spouting absolute ish. Your full team knew there was an arbitration going on. It was out of my hands, but I tell you what, if I'm a fraud, let's fight this weekend. Bare knuckles till one man quits. Let's put up 20 million each. Allegedly, that's what Wilder asked for step aside. All right, so Anthony Joshua responded, if there was an arbitration going on, why announce the world we are fighting? The fight was signed undisputed. Bare knuckle, you're a good kid. Don't play with me, Luke. I'll slap your bald head and you'll do nothing. Waste man.
I'll smack fire at you.
So Fury responded, not going into the details online. You'll slap me about, will you, Dawsa? Please come and try. Bum. I'm waiting. Femi, a.k.a. Bottle Job, 24/7, 365. Ready. I'll smoke Wilder first, then you'll get yours as well. And then Joshua wrote, excuse me, you're not about that bare knuckle life. A barrier held you back, not even a bouncer. And I don't know if you're familiar with this video, but this is when Billy Joe Saunders' dad goes over the barrier. You see Billy Joe Saunders' dad right there. And you see Tyson Fury right there.
Tyson's like, that ain't my dad.
And basically that continues to happen and Tyson Fury doesn't do anything. And so that was their exchange. So I'm going to turn this over to Trill Dollar Bill. What's your thoughts on Anthony Joshua basically saying you never really wanted to fight Tyson Fury. You used my name for clout and bringing the smoke to him?
I was going to say that, shout out to my man, Conspiracy G. Let me hold this Conspiracy G. I got a conspiracy myself. I don't think that they ever wanted to fight. Now that I'm starting to think and I'm seeing this, it's seeming like Tyson Fury never wanted to fight. It seemed that's what it looks like. It looks like he was just using his name. Like he knew what this was going on. Man, this is just sad. It's a game. Tyson Fury, king of the mind games. I think he was just going over there to test the waters, man, with AJ. After I seen all this unfolded, I'm thinking to myself, he never wanted that fight. Like, he could say what he wanted, but he didn't want that fight. I like just his actions. This is actions to me. Like, I don't know. That's how it's seeming. I'm rocking with what AJ has to say on this one. Even if it's still gonna be some crap in the middle. I'm not sure we ever gonna get undisputed, because it's like people say they don't care about money, but then you hear them talking about money, and then you got, I don't know, man. It just seems so weird to me. That's all. It just seems so weird to me. And I was gonna say that before. Like, it doesn't seem like they wanted to fight AJ. It's like they do it to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Everybody calls out Canelo and all that, but these guys be really scared. Like these guys be scared. And they know. I don't know, man. I'm not. I just, for some odd reason, it just feels funny to me. It just feels funny to me. I could be wrong. Hey, I'm not always right, but there's a chance that I could be.
That's right. I could have been right.
Yeah, I could have been. just everything how it's showing, how it's playing out, and how you so happy not to be getting $150-something million. I don't know. It just seems funny. Seems fishy to me.
All right, Conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm actually 1,000% in agreement with Trill on this one. Like, I was thinking the same exact thing, that Tyson Fury does not want that Anthony Joshua fight. And here's why. The fact that he said, I was never going to give Wilder step aside money. Once I heard that, I was like, hold on, what? So when was the point of announcing the AJ fight? You know, knowing that you're going to have to give this guy something, you know, like $5 million, whatever. It could have been something. If the potential is to make $100 million and you know you had an arbitration going on that you'll most likely have to pay Wilder something, or you're going to have to set up a third fight, why not just give him like some like $5 million, $7 million, $10 million? I agree. $20 million to me seems like a lot. I was like, I wouldn't give him no 20, but 10, maybe even 15 makes sense when you compare 15 to 100 million. But the fact that he was just like, nah, we're not giving him anything. And I'm thinking, yo, you had Eddie Hearn probably flying over to Saudi Arabia, negotiating this whole deal and everything, like doing everything above and beyond to make this mega fight. And out of nowhere, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to fight Deontay Wilder for the trilogy, and seem so excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't shed a tear that you just lost $100 million. Like, I'm just like, yo, bro, they really shook to death about Anthony Joshua. But I'll say this, though. And you know me, I'm not going to call him a coward. But this is pretty cowardish. And the only reason why is because at least the guys that call out Canelo's name, when they get the fight, they show up. They may not show up to win, but they show up for the bag. This dude don't even want to show up for the bag. And then he got the nerve to be like, hey, AJ, watch your mouth. We could bare knuckle fight. I'm like, fam, you're a prize fighting boxer, but you want to go bare knuckles with AJ? I'm like, all right, bro. Antics. More and more antics, you know? So, man, listen, he never wanted to fight AJ. Never did. You know what I mean? And I don't blame AJ. Honestly, I don't blame Eddie Hearn if they like, yo, you know what? They're probably now rooting for Wilder to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole world's probably against Tyson Fury at this point. You know what I mean? We already got Baby Wilder jumping, flipping sides. You know what I mean? You see that now. Ned's talking about, yo, I hope you lose, yo. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what I mean? Wilder just recruited a new soldier, you know? So it's a different time, man. Yo, Fury, yo, don't lose, bro. You're going to do not lose, for real. That's it, man.
Yo, shout out to you, though, G, because you did mention something that I left out. Poor Eddie, man. Yo, all that gas money that he had to spend. You know what I'm saying? Driving back and forth trying to make this deal happen.
Like, imagine what if Saudi Arabia is like, you know what? We ain't messing with none of y'all no more. We all set with the zone, Matchroom. We don't want to deal with y'all no more. You know, like,
yo, and it makes sense why Bob Arum and Frank Warren was just like, we waiting on Eddie. We waiting on Eddie. We waiting on Eddie. So if he didn't get it done, they could blame him. Like,
and then he gets it done, knowing that y'all gonna have to give Wilder a third fight and say nothing to the dude. So then Eddie's left with the empty bag, looking crazy, trying to explain to Saudi Arabia, like, yo, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We're gonna figure this out. Like, come on, man.
I just hope this message right here gets to Eddie Hearn. Like, yo, Eddie Hearn, from the boxing bros to you, man, we wanted to say, like, yo, we seen that you was out here really trying to make this fight happen. And you've been the promoter that has been trying to make all these big fights happen. So salute to you, guy. We know it wasn't your fault.
Now, 100. I don't want to hear anyone say anything about Eddie because Eddie got it done. You can't say they didn't want the fight because Eddie worked tirelessly against the odds on a huge time constraint to get this done. So salute to Eddie, 100.
Yeah, salute to Eddie.
All right, so I guess it's on me. Look. When we discussed this, I was under the impression, because there was a report if you remember, we did a video that Wilder's going to get 7 to 10 million based on a report from Max Kellerman for step aside. So in my mind, when the arbitrator went against Tyson Fury, I'm thinking, dang, even with the 7 to 10 offer to Wilder, and now I'm like, there's no 7 to 10 offer to Wilder. So there was never money offered to Wilder. So now Fury's team goes in there and they want the contract to expire. They want to fight Anthony Joshua for 150, well, a site fee of 155 million, 75 going to Tyson Fury, and they don't want to give Wilder anything. They just want the whole pie, and that's mediation. Which then, if you decide is going to be decided by arbitrator, right? They're looking to be impartial. They're looking for fairness, which is something I broke down. But for me, and I'll just say it like this. When you address these situations, you go from what you know. Look, we all come from different backgrounds. We've all gone to different schools. We all have different life experiences. So we got 4 people on this panel for a reason. We're all going to see things differently. We all have different specialties. We all have different talents, right? So for me, when I speak from what I know based on what I've been through. So if you disagree with me, that's fine. You can also look up what I'm saying. You don't have to take what I'm saying at face value. So something I'm about to say, I'm actually just going to show it to you as well, because like it gets to the point where like I'm not going to argue with people. Now, this is Cornell Law School, Legal Information Institute, right? Now I'll just scroll and show you. Just look up injunction. You can pull this up yourself and see about an injunction. You Google injunction. Go to Cornell Law School. They're breaking down injunction using case law. So now this is case law presented to you by Cornell Law School. Now look at permanent injunctions. There is a balancing test that courts typically employ in determining whether to issue an injunction. To seek a permanent injunction, the plaintiff must pass the 4-step test, something I've always known about. Maybe you haven't, so I'm going to tell you about it. The 4-step test. 1, that the plaintiff, Deontay Wilder, suffered an irreparable injury. 2, that remedies available at law, such as monetary damages, are inadequate to compensate for the injury. So that's the WBC title. You can give him money, but he won't have a shot at winning the title. 3, now this is the key one for everyone, that the remedy in equity is warranted upon consideration of the balance of hardships between the plaintiff, Deontay Wilder, and the defendant, Tyson Fury. You have to balance the hardships. So you can't force Tyson Fury to lose $70 million just to make him fight Deontay Wilder. You have to balance that out. So what is it? Deontay Wilder will lose the title. Okay, but this man will lose 70 million possibly in revenue. And is that fair? Then the 4th thing you have to consider, that the permanent injunction being sought would not hurt public interest. Now, you look at the Saudi Arabian government that just invested $155,000. You look at this fight being the biggest fight in UK boxing history. You look at the fact that this is for the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 2004. That's the public. That's in the best interest of the public. Now, this is all the case law. So some of you who don't understand legal documents, this is all the case law. Weinberger v. Romero, all those. You can highlight that, put it in your search engine, and bam, the case law will pop up for you. So you're not arguing with me now. You're arguing with case law, and you're arguing with Cornell Law School, who put this case law out there. See, I could do this myself, but you'll just argue that I made it up. So I'm showing you using an objective source. Now, in balancing the damages to the plaintiff, the defendant, and public interest, the courts balance the relative harm and benefit to both the defendant, Tyson Fury, and the plaintiff, Deontay Wilder, if the injunction is granted. That's the point I was trying to tell you. But again, my mind comes from, I do this on a regular basis. The average person hears this, and I know you think of all these YouTubers who spout garbage, and you say, oh, well, that he must be one of them. Nah, bro. Here's the case law. A leading decision, Boomer v. Atlantic Cement Co. ruled against permanent injunction against the cement company in a nuisance claim by homeowners in the neighborhood. In reaching a decision, Bingo, right here. The court factored in the factory's apparent inability to develop improved abatement methods and the defendant's $45 million capital investment in the factory, both of which are factors by which the defendant would be hurt, significantly hurt by the injunction. And so I just want to point out, you see, based on what I just showed you, from the permanent injunctions, that you can appeal if you feel like the judge abused the discretion. And you see what the how they determine these things. They determine it based on harm and all. It's what I've been telling you. I don't need a hashtag cadence, right? I know what I'm talking about. So now this is what I'm saying to you. If Tyson Fury and his team knew all these things, why wouldn't you just appeal this decision on the grounds that the judge abused his discretion and make these arguments in court? With that being said, this is the last time I'm going there. This is the last time I'm ever going to, because I get excited and I'm like listening to myself, and then I realize like, yo, I'm getting excited for a legal battle. I don't even care about like what everyone else. So I'm getting geeked up about this legal battle and arguments that can be made in court. So I'm so excited. I'm sharing it to people, and people don't even get it. So you're not arguing with me no more. You're arguing with something you can look up yourself. You're arguing with case law, and you're arguing with one of the best law schools in America that decide to put that out to the people. Because you can Google that yourself. Just write injunction in the search bar. Bang, that'll come up, and you can keep reading. So with all that being said, if there were other remedies for Fury to pursue to terminate this fight, and he chose not to, I have to assume he wanted the fight. He didn't seem too upset about it on ESPN2. So I have to assume he wanted to fight Wilder. Lastly, not even a day after the ruling came in, a few hours after the ruling came in, Bob Arum already had a site and already had a date. So come on now, you factor in they weren't even a part of the negotiations with Eddie. The fact that they never even offered money to Wilder during the mediation and arbitration, which is just terrible. That's going to hurt and lessen your chances of winning the arbitration. They already had a date set. It just seemed like they got what they wanted. So I'm just going to leave it at that. TBE, if you didn't
hear the AJ,
TBE, if you want here and you're not privy to what we're talking about the exchange on Twitter between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, where Anthony Joshua basically said he used his name for clout, and you know the rest. I know you're familiar with that.
I saw the back and forth. It was hilarious. So AJ body and one was like, "You were not about that. You're not about the hands, yo. You don't want to touch me, man. You didn't even let a bouncer stop you. Let a barrier hold you back." So that was hilarious to me. Like that was the final blow, and like Fury, I don't know if Fury responded, but that was that's where the conversation ended after that. But for me, it's just like AJ's completely right. Like honestly, all these fighters from Wilder, Fury, whoever, Dillian, Usyk, whoever, all these fighters that use his name just to stay relevant, to get a boost off of AJ's name. It's at this point it's corny. Like if you're gonna do all these semantics, like go ahead.
Put some.
You can't get mad at that, Ned. You do it to everyone else.
Yeah, I'm just saying you brought Usyk's name up as if Usyk doesn't have a legitimate mandatory with Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he does. Okay, I'm just saying, fighters that use AJ's name to like boost their profile, it's corny at this point. And Fury, you really just put it in the dirt. Like you really took it to the point where, like Wilder was using it to like build his name. You took it to the point where you was like, yo, the fight's about to happen, and then you do a whole 360 and say I'm fighting Wilder. It's sad, yo. At this point, man, AJ, do you, man? Stay focused on you, man. Like these dudes just Yeah, it's tiring at this point. I can't even speak on it no more. It's just I'm sick of it. Like I thought I was so happy for Undisputed, and then this BS happens. And then Fury, shame on you for playing these type of tactics. You did it. You like you're showing your cards too. You're showing your cards, and you're just playing yourself at this point. G, fix your face, man.
I'm sorry.
Everybody went.
Any gentlemen got anything further to add?
Hey man, I just had to show love to the Ukraine.
I'll add this. I know.
Oh, hold up. The Ukraine don't love you, G. You don't like Usyk.
Hey, you just took up from Usyk. You just threw Usyk's name out there for nothing.
My bad, Usyk. I like you. I don't want to sound like G. I like you, but
only thing I heard my man Usyk say was, "Eddie, more money."
More money, Eddie.
Yo, can I ask you this simple question?
Go.
Joyce versus Usyk.
I got Joyce, bro. It is what it is.
AJ versus Usyk.
Yo, you shouldn't even answer that. You should say, "Yo, I'm only talking about upcoming fight." You know what I'm saying? He's trying to set you up.
Answer the question. AJ versus Usyk.
I plead the fifth.
You ain't got to predict that right now.
Wilder versus Usyk.
I plead the fifth, my brother.
Nah, but I do want to add this. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's mind games," and maybe this was the most brilliant mind game, and Fury's team is feeling good about it. But like, what good is it if you trick everyone, including your fans? What good is it if you trick everyone?
What is it if you trick your own pockets?
I was just about to say that. You tricked your own pockets.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again. So you done fooled me once, Tyson Fury, and I like Fury. So anyone who's ever watched this channel knows I've been fair, but I gotta be objective across the board. That's what I.
This one, it just seems funny. You know what I'm saying? Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This is crazy. It's the Boxing Bros.